Hi and good afternoon, everyone. This is Linda with Linda Sue Plants for you. Today I'm going to bring you a kind of a mixture of things. A lot of things that have needed doing for a while that are finally going to get done today. I'm going to show you and explain to you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to go and mix up my soil mixture and then come back and film the process of repotting, since so many of you love to watch my repotting videos. But I wanted to have enough room on here to be able to show you all that I'm working on today. This plant is I've waited so long for. It's my Begonia Maculata Woodii, and as you can see, there is new growth coming, which is a good sign. However, I don't remember why I put this in this plastic pot. I never put my begonias in plastic, and if I go back through my videos, I'll probably answer my own question, but for now, just suffice it to say I'm going to get it out of that plastic pot and into the clay. It does not, it stays way too wet. Begonias don't like to have wet feet. And I'm thinking I'm seeing problems because of it. If you look, you know, and this can be a sign of not enough water, but I think that's too much water there. What I'm looking at looks to me like damage from being too wet. So I am going to repot that, hoping it's going to fit in this pot that I have set aside for. And then this one is my long-awaited for, it's called a Hawaiian wreath, and there isn't a longer name. In fact, I got the tag here. I'll read that for you. Hopefully I can read that for you. It is called the Stephanotis floribunda Madagascar jasmine, otherwise known as the Hawaiian wreath or the jasmine Hawaiian wreath. This plant is absolutely gorgeous. It gets the most beautiful white flowers on it. I've seen it on the internet in growing in a circle like a wreath, and my husband tried to get it for me because some people were telling me, I don't know if it was January or February, they were saying that it was that the one of the stores that we have by us here, Trader Joe's, was carrying them, and that store is about an hour away from our house, but my hubby went out in the middle of winter and drove all the way out there, and they had no idea what he was talking about, and they did not have them. So I searched the internet and found this one, and I ordered it. And I can't wait till you guys see what it looks like when it's in full bloom. Okay, and moving on. This is my Salome. This is from Suzette from Suzette's Gardens. If you haven't checked out her channel, you really should. She's got oodles and oodles of plants inside and out, and she's starting to work in her outdoor space again, so that'll be something to see when she gets it done. And that's Suzette's Gardens. Now, I've been asking her about this cutting, and for some reason the leaves, this one is dark enough, but some of them are getting very pale looking, and it doesn't have any kind of pests. I've checked that out, and the only other thing I can think of is maybe it needs some calcium, because that will happen with a lot of plants, especially my peace lily. I saved that plant by putting a tablespoon of Epsom salt in a gallon of distilled water, and it brought the deep dark green color back. So that's what it was missing. So I'm thinking that might be the case here. But in addition to that, Suzette said these plants get the big root systems very fast. So I'm going to take that out of that pot today. And I'm going to do that on, I'm going to record it. And then you all can see what I'm looking at. Okay? So I'm going to do that. And then these two plants are the purple waffle and the, I believe it's called Snow White. Or white, I think it's Snow White waffle. And looking a little peaked because they need water, but I'm not going to water them just yet because I want to repot them. And these are easier to repot when they're dry. So I also want to take some cuttings for my daughter and granddaughter because they both really like this plant. So I'm going to do that today. And then last but not least, in this jar, I have another cutting from Suzette. I don't know what I would have done without her. She has sent me so many beautiful plants. And I really, really appreciate it because it's very hard for me to get out. And now with the virus thing going on, I don't dare go in a store. So I'm so grateful for the plants that she sent me last summer because they're all growing up now and filling up my space, and I'm loving it. This plant is a red emerald, and she sent it to me. When she sent it to me, it had a beautiful curled up red leaf on it. And it would have probably opened in a couple of days. Well, I made the mistake of setting the plant on my kitchen counter because I was getting ready to repot it or something with it. And my hubby went into the cupboard to get a plate out, I think, and he must have hit the top of the plant with the cupboard door and cut off the leaf on it. And not his fault, but oh, I was so sad when that's happened. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to save it. It's been in this jar for a long time. And about a month or so, maybe 6 weeks ago, I noticed a little growth. And I'm going to show you here. But it was red, and I couldn't tell if it was some kind of root or if it was a leaf, the way it was shaped. It turned out it was this leaf. So when I talked to Suzette, she thought maybe I could try putting this on top of spag moss, just laying it on there and seeing if it would root that way. Well, in the meantime, before I had a chance to do that, because I didn't have any spag moss at the time, it started to root. I think you can see that. It's got just a couple of fine roots down there. And then it's got all this new growth. And this is sitting in water. So I'm just really not sure what I should do with this at this point. I'm really tempted to cut this off. Let me see if I can steady that. You can see how long it is. And I'm thinking I should cut it off maybe right below this node. And maybe even a little further down. And putting this piece in a small pot in some soil and letting it grow. I'm just afraid because those few roots that are on there are so fine, and I know that water roots have a hard time adjusting to soil as it is, so I don't want to do anything to make that worse, but something is telling me it needs to go into the soil. So I think I'm going to try that today, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll be successful and at least save the bottom piece. If not maybe I'll even get new growth on the top. Alright, so that's my plan. I'm going to go make up some soil and move some of these plants out of my way so I have room to work, and then I'll be back. So stand by. Okay, and here we go. The magic of video. My soil mixture is pretty much the same for most of my plants. And most of you that follow me you already know that what I have in here is potting mix. And I say the word mix, I kind of want to emphasize that, because potting soil and potting mix are not necessarily the same. In my neck of the woods, I find that when it's marked potting soil, it can be, it almost, sometimes it looks like very rich peat moss. It doesn't have that light, airy mixture. When I get the mix, it already has some of the other things in it, and although in the long run it probably costs a little more to do it that way, but my plants like it, so that's what I do. So what I have in here is organic potting mix, and I believe the brand was Black Gold Organic. Before I get started here, I want to just caution you, when I purchased those, the bags were pretty wet, and I didn't realize it. And I may have mentioned this in past videos, but my granddaughter took me to get it, and she is the one that lifted it and put it in the cart, so she had no idea or no clue. But had I known how heavy that was when she brought it in the house, and then my husband went to dump it in my big container that I stored in, and he said, holy man, he said, them things got to weigh 70 pounds apiece. Well, probably he was exaggerating maybe a little, but I don't think by too much, because they were soaking wet, and they were growing white fuzzy stuff inside of it, and I had no way to take it back, so we dried it out, I cleaned it up, and I've been using it, and it's been fine. And that's been since, I don't know, maybe December, January. So it's all right, but it was a lot of work to clean it up and dry it out. So be careful. You know, a lot of the big box stores especially, they store a lot of that potting soil or mixture outside on pallets, and they get rained on and snowed on, and they have holes in the bags so that it can breathe. But that's also where the rain will seep into. So I try to get the bags that have been in the store for a while, that are dried out, and I know that they're going to be good. So that's just a word of warning for you. Okay, we've got the potting mix, and then we've got perlite, and as you can see, there's quite a bit in there. And then along with that, I use cocoa coir and some smaller orchid bark. I'm trying to find smaller pieces of that as well, and I'm not having any luck. These pieces are kind of a little bigger than I would like, but they'll do for now. It does help to keep the soil draining fast, which is what you want for most plants. There are exceptions to that. There are some plants that like to be kept evenly moist, but not many. Most plants want to dry out a little bit before they get watered again. So you'll know that by when you look up the care instructions on whatever plant you're repotting. All right, I think that's it. Oh, and when I'm potting cacti or some succulents, I will also add sand to that. They seem to just grow better when I do that, and so that's my other key. And then in plants that really like to be kept moist, and I use the charcoal, and that keeps it from getting, you know, it keeps the soil clean and fresh and filters the soil. The one place where I can think of offhand is my cissus plant, otherwise known as grape ivy. That plant likes to be kept evenly moist, so in there I do have some of the charcoal bits in there, and that works good. All right, let's get going here. Hubby is laid off, for those of you that don't already know that, and that's indefinitely, unfortunately. Like many other people today are in the same boat. He just went out to his work to pick up his last 2-day paycheck, so not good on that end, but we'll be okay. All right, I'm gonna put, now this pot is clean and it has drainage holes. I always start with clean pots, my friends. I have a real thing about that. I don't know why, but it just seems to me that that's a good thing to do. So, and I guess there's an exception to that too. If I've just repotted something and I know that the pot is, you know, clean and doesn't have any kind of things going on, whether it be mold or fungus or critters, then I will reuse it. But for the most part, I do repot. And, okay, let's get this out of here and show you what we're doing. Okay. Wow, that's quite a root system on there already. I'm so glad I'm doing this today. We're going to need a little more soil in there. Now this pot is a little bit bigger than what I would normally choose, but I like the fact that it's got really good drainage holes on the bottom. I don't have too many pots like that, so. And the other reason I'm doing it the way I am, is because, and I almost forgot to put this in, is I'm going to be training this to go up this trellis that my husband made. I don't know if you can see there. And bear with me, folks, it's been a while since I've been able to do videos, and I'm a little rusty at the camera portion again, but I'll get used to it, and I'm sure y'all will forgive me for that. But here it is. It's a circle, and then he made this out of wire. And I said it's got to be sturdy. It's got to hold up. So that's what he came up with. And that's got to fit in the pot. So that's the other reason I'm using the bigger pot, because this one is barely fitting in here. And I'm going to take this back out. Get this down in there first. All the way down to the bottom, because I don't want it to fall over. And once this plant is growing around it and the soil is wet, it'll stay, it'll be fine. Look at that, it's almost standing up already. Alright, so I'm going to take this stick out of here. I'm going to see if I can get you guys a little bit closer. You can see what I'm doing. I hope that's better. Okay. Going to remove this stick that they have in here, and I can probably use that for something else. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have something that I do need one of these for. And I'll remember later. But for right now, I need to concentrate on this because I don't want to do anything to harm this plant. I'm so excited, and I know that it doesn't look like much right now, but you guys just have to believe me. This is so beautiful, and I wish that I could figure out how to put interject the still pictures in my videos like many of you do, because this is one of those times when I would love to show you what it's going to look like. But I haven't figured that out yet, so you can look it up, though. You could go into Google and punch in Hawaiian wedding wreath or jasmine, Madagascar jasmine, and you'll be able to see. You'll be able to see it. Okay. A little more soil here. Don't want to go up too high. Some plants it doesn't matter if you do that, but I find most plants do. If you go above the original crown of the plant or the original soil line depth, you risk rotting it, because if that part of the stem is not if that part of the stem is used to being out in the air, and then you cover it with soil and get it wet every couple days, that is not a good thing. It will rot it. Now, I know there's some plants it doesn't matter. I know tomato plants you have to do that with, because at least around here, because usually by the time we get them, they're very long and spindly. And then you just bury the whole stem down in the soil. And I remember when I first was taught how to do that years ago, it went against my logic. I thought it was suffocating it, but it didn't. It didn't do it at all. It made it very strong. And so, like I said, I'm sure there's a lot of other plants that are like that as well. So, alright, let me see if I can get this to wind around this the same way it was wound around the other one. Not that it matters, I guess, but okay. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to have to secure this or not. I think it's going to be okay. I wish you guys could. I just don't think you're getting a good view here. You know, the other thing is this camera has a flip screen on it, and I'm always looking at the flip screen to see if you guys can see what I'm talking about, but the part that's recording is next to that, and I have to remind myself that I'm not recording through the flip screen, I'm recording through the lens, and that's a lot of times why I'm off on it. But okay, and then there we go. Maybe I'm too close, huh? No. I think you can see it now. It goes all the way up and around here. Okay, that's enough. My goodness. Alright, well, we'll see how that works. I have to get that off of here. I really can't wait to see that one grow up. Okay. And I didn't mention this in the beginning of the video because I forgot about it, but I do want to repot this today. This plant is from Suzette's garden. It was one of the plants that I got in a big, huge box of, I don't even remember how many plants were in there, but there were a lot. She sent me a lot of big plants and a lot of little plants and cuttings. This is the Hawaiian spider plant. And I'm just going to trim this a little bit because watering issues, I didn't, it got a little too dry. So I always like to cut on the same angle as the leaf of the plant. It just tends to look better and it kind of camouflages the fact that I did that. So, okay, that should be good. I'm going to repot this in here. Now, this plant, when she sent this to me, it was pretty tiny, and it could have grown probably 3-4 times this size had I repotted it. But at the time, I didn't have room for it, and since then, I have given quite a few plants to my girls, so I'm making room for plants that I'm really, really in love with, and I'm kind of paring down on the ones that are so-so. The Hawaiian plant is one that I've never had. I do have a beautiful spider plant. Actually, there's 2 of them now from the mother, and if you want to see that, well, just stay tuned because I'm going to be doing a video on that in the future. And that comes from the original plant, was I believe 42 years old. And if you want to see what it looked like a year ago, it's one of my first, I don't know, maybe 6-7 videos, I'm not sure. But you can see what it did. These will grow really fast when you put them in bigger pots. The key to getting the babies is to keep them root bound. They like to be snug as a bug in a rug to produce babies. At least that's been my experience, and I've been raising these for my whole life. So I'm not sure if that works the same with the Hawaiian as it does with the regular white and green leaves, but that's why, like I said, I kept it in this pot because I didn't want it to grow too big and outgrow its space. But now I have my room, so now we're going to do that. And I'm going to have to get a bigger saucer for this guy, but I'm going to put it in there for now because I got this huge hole, and I don't want the soil to all come rushing out. I think I maybe even should get a little bit of a paper towel, and I'm going to do that. And this works fine. Some people use screening for window screening. Some people use coffee filters. It doesn't matter. This will disintegrate eventually, the paper towel, but this hole is it's a good sized drainage hole, and that's good, but I don't want all the soil to fall out of there right away. So we're going to just stick that in the bottom. And we're going to put some soil mixture in here. Not too much. And I forgot my knife. It's been a while. I do that a lot. Got that memory thing going on. I hope you all are healthy and doing okay with this thing that we're going through here. I was watching the news intently every single day with bated breath. Well, because I really couldn't do much of anything but watch TV, and I mean, there's just not much on that I'm interested in, so and I was watching my plant videos, my YouTube videos, but that was actually making me sad because I couldn't do anything, and I knew my plants needed me, and I wasn't able to do what I needed to do. So that I had to just put aside for a couple of weeks, and now we're back. Oh boy, this one is really rebound in here. In fact, I think I might have just broke a leaf. Oh no. Okay. So I had to just quit with the TV altogether because I couldn't listen to the gloom and doom anymore. I needed to find something to cheer myself up. And most of you know that I'm housebound, so for me it's not that big a deal, but I do have family, and they're calling me now and wanting to know how I managed all this time, and they're having a hard time with it, so I guess that was a blessing for me. And oh boy, yeah, look at, can you see those roots on there? My goodness. And these have tubular, they have the tubers we call them. And then here's some more. And those tubers hold water. So whenever you're dealing with spider plants, be careful. You can overwater them real easily. I generally let mine get on the dry side, on the way dry side, almost to a fault. Sometimes I end up with brown edges on my leaves because I let it go too far. But better that way than, I always say you can always bring a plant back from dry too dry, but not from too wet. If it gets past a certain point and those roots are rotted, there's nothing you can do about it. So best to do it, like I said, best to do it, let it go on the dry side. Okay. little bit more on this side here. Cover up those roots. Alright, so that's that one. And I'll water them all later when I'm done, but that is a good sized pot for that. And now this is going to grow like crazy, and I'll bet you in a month or less I'm going to have to put it in yet a bigger pot. So I gotta get another hook up in my ceiling in my laundry room, so I want to put this one right next to my other one. So, okay. That's that. Oops. Alright. Okay. Now this guy, I don't know what happened here. I just did a video on this. I could go back and watch it and find out what I was thinking, but I don't want to waste the time doing that, so I'm just going to repot it. And I just did this, I don't think it was even 2 weeks ago, so we're just going to reuse the soil that it's in. I'm going to see if I can't get you guys a little bit closer. There. Okay. Oh, my beautiful plant. I'm not even sure how to do this without breaking these. Ooh. Well, I'm just loosening up squeezing the pot a little bit, try to loosen it up. I'm really worried it's gonna just let loose and go all over the floor. I can't seem to repot anything without making a mess, but that's alright. Not a big deal. And out it came. Ugh. Thank goodness. I probably should have taken it off of this trellis, but I was kind of afraid. Oh, nuts. Okay, hang on. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that soil is still damp. My goodness. Oh. Well, what do I do? Do I take that off and disrupt those roots? I don't think I want to do that. This is the one that I said I think I didn't overwater it, but I put it in this plastic pot, and I don't know why I did that. That was not a smart thing to do. And I know better, so I just must have had a brain cramp that day. But anyway, I'm trying to loosen this up. Oh my goodness, yes, this is awful wet. You know, I'm gonna have to get some of that wet soil off of there. It's okay. Give that poor thing a chance to dry out a little bit. Oh, I'm so sorry, plant. And wouldn't you know, I mean, I waited for 2 years for this plant. Finally get it, and then I almost kill it. Yeah, I think we've all been there, huh? Alright, I'm just going to mix this up, because this soil is just fairly new. I just put that in here less than 2 weeks ago. So. Oh, there. Okay. Get some dry soil around it. I feel better already. Poor plant. Boy, if plants could talk, huh? Imagine the stories they could tell. I once heard somebody say that the old wives' tale of plants growing better when you talk to them every day. And I never had an opinion about that one way or another. I thought, well, maybe there could be something to it, but I mean, I do talk to my plants, but I don't expect them to answer. I'm not that far gone yet. You never know. But actually, what I saw was, and I'm trying to remember where I saw this, because it was a real reputable, it was a greenhouse, and I can't remember which one, but it was on YouTube, and the man said the reason why plants grow better when you talk to them is because when we talk, we emit carbon dioxide. I believe that was the term they used, and that if we get real close to the leaves and we're breathing that on the leaves, that helps them grow. I don't know how true that is, and maybe it is and maybe it's not, but I thought that was interesting. Alright. I got a small leaf in here that's just, it's laying on the soil and it's already starting to rot, so I'm just going to cut that off because we don't want that to spread. And we don't want to give the bugs an invitation. So I think that'll be okay. It looks good, huh? I don't know what you all think. I really love her. I can't wait till she gets dark green. She started to and then she stopped. And I think it's because we had so many rainy days. I hope that's the reason. So, alright. That's another one down. And now we're going to work on the purple Waffle. I had these in my living room on my table under my calatheas or calatheas, and it was doing really well. And then I moved it into my dining room and I put it on the shelf, and it started declining a little bit because I wasn't watering it as often as I needed to. But it will perk back up. That's the nice thing about these. Sometimes if I forget and they're just like hanging on the side of the pot like they're dead, and I put water in it, and within a couple hours they're like new. So my girls wanted a piece of these, so I'm gonna make up 2 little pots, one for each of them. Just a small starter plant. I don't know how much. I know my granddaughter is running out of room. She actually was either going to purchase or did purchase a shelf, a new shelf for her plants. Now, there's not a whole lot in here, so I think we're going to leave this one. Oh, that's right. I was going to combine these 2 together. So that's what I'll do. Let's take this out. I'm going to just take them out of here. I'm going to leave it in my dining room because it looks really nice on the black shelf that I have that you guys have all seen. And would you look at the root system on there, huh? Wow. That's something. Look at that. Would you look at that? Alright. Alright, I'm going to set these aside and then get this pot out of my way here. And I did just repot these not too long ago, so I am definitely going to reuse this soil. And it looks good and it smells good. And that's another way that you can tell if you smell that soil, it should have a sweet smell. If it's not, and then you might have mildew starting in there or some kind of fungus. But this smells really good. It's very yeah, I can smell it from here. I don't even have to put it up to my face. So I'm going to dump that in here because I'm going to reuse it. So I just added that back to my soil. And yeah, it's still very good soil. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And Snow White waffle plant, that's what the first one, that's what this one is. This is the Snow White. And you can see all the purple, the light purple and pinky violet color. It's gorgeous. And this is the other purple waffle, just called purple waffle. And yeah, this one has a little bit of damage to it, so that's alright. I'm going to clean it up. But I want to take a cutting from this dark purple waffle for each of my girls. But I want to give them a plant that's healthy. So I'll dig that out. I think we're going to take it out of the other side here. This side got watered better than the other side. Ooh. Did you hear that? That didn't sound good. That sounded like a root breaking. Or maybe a stem. Okay. Well, I guess this isn't going to work the way I thought it was. I was hoping to just take a full cluster out of here. But the problem is these clusters are all connected. So I'm going to have to dig a little and cut it out. And hope I can get some roots. I really wanted to give them a rooted, where they already have roots on them. Oh, I just broke another one. All right, I'm making a mess here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this. As you can see, there are some roots on there. But I'm going to have to plant this up a little higher than I wanted to. Because of the size pot I'm putting it in. That should be okay, because this was down in the soil, this part. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so I've got one of the dark. If I can get these apart and put one of the light. Okay. I think these are going to go nice together. They both require about the same kind of care, so one likes a little more light than the other one, and I don't remember which one's which, but it's okay. I've been growing them in the same spot for a while, and they're doing equally, growing equally. They weren't the same when I put them together. That's why I had the dark purple one first. And then I purchased the snow white one. And that was quite a bit later, so. Other things being equal, I think they're gonna be okay. Okay, there's one. Little higher out of the soil than I would like it to be, but it'll be all right. Okay, I'm gonna put that one over here, and then put the other one. And I know this looks kind of sad now, but it's going to come back. You'll see how beautiful it can be. I want this piece right here, but it's right in the middle of the underground rooting system here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any roots on here. Probably not. Alright. Alrighty, well, let's see. Where does this one go to? I'm trying to find one that's already got roots that I can take off from the mother plant, and they're all very deeply connected, so it's just not working too well. Well, I'll put this one in here. Oh boy, I bet you this video is getting really long. So I'm going to cut this and just put it in the soil, because these do root very easily, and I'll just keep it here for a while till I know for sure that it's got roots, because you know, sometimes when you move them to a different place, that puts them in a little bit of shock. So I don't want that to happen on top of the fact that it has no roots. So, all right, I'm going to just fill this up, and you know, I got one more plant, my Salome, but this video I know is got to be awfully long already, so we're going to just end it here, and then I might do a separate video with that one, okay? I have other stuff that I have to repot too, so I'll do that. But I think this will be it for this one, because yeah. All right. Okay. Alright, I'm going to stick these back in my other plant. I'm going to end this video where I add here and clean up this mess a little, and then I'll show you the final result of everything we did this morning. And here is the final result. All cleaned up and ready to be put back in their space where they're going to live for a while. One final look. She's perking up already. Okay, folks. Thanks again for coming. I wish you all a happy day today. Hope you all stay healthy, and as I said, I will be doing that the red emerald and the Salome on my next video. I might even get that out later today, I don't know, but watch for that, because that's the next thing that'll be coming, okay? Alright, thanks for coming. Bye now.